Hello from Brazil. Wonderful. Welcome. Welcome. If there's anything you guys want to know, just don't hesitate to ask. We'll let people come in and chat. Hey, from Edmonton. Is it cold there still? I heard it was minus 51 at some point. Was it minus 51 with the wind chill? Because I do not miss that. It's kind of rainy today, kind of meh, but it's been like +3, +5 Celsius. It's been really nice. Yeah, the weather down here, as I mentioned, so gorgeous. I really love it. It feels like a nice spring day in the middle of winter. So it's like weird. My Canadian body is like, what's going on? Yeah, such an inspiration. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy that I can inspire. Thank you guys so much for coming on and commenting and liking and sharing my stuff. That means the world to me. So thank you so much. Can you start a group raw challenge? That's a really good idea. I don't necessarily like challenges because it's more about a daily thing that we need to do to constantly improve. But I will be creating an e-course, and I will have a secret Facebook group where people can come and join in on that. But I could definitely maybe think about doing something like that. It probably wouldn't be until March because we have February is the retreat that me and Ted and Nate are doing on February 12th to the 22nd. We're doing that in Portland. So I've got a lot going on to run a challenge, but I will definitely think about it because that's something that people have asked to do. Please advice about iron and calcium deficiency. What specifically do you want to know about that? Like how to improve a deficiency or what we need to prevent a deficiency? Yeah, could you elaborate a little bit on that, Sally? Are you going to Woodstock? Yes. It'll be me and Nate, or Nate and I. I have to stop saying me and Nate. I have to say Nate and I. It's our 1-year wedding anniversary because we got married at Woodstock. So that's going to be exciting. We already have our tickets ready to go, and we will probably be doing food demos. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be presenting at Woodstock, but we will be probably doing food demos, which will be super cool. Maybe, I don't know. I have to clear it with the peeps, but we could maybe do rainbow sushi. I would love to do rainbow sushi. That would be so much fun. But we'll see. We'll see what that later on, closer to Woodstock, we'll decide. But yes, I'm going to Woodstock. I'm also going to be at the UKFruit Fest. And if you want to come to the UKFruit Fest, I think there's only a couple days left to enter to win a free ticket. You can go to fruitfest.co.uk/registration. The link is in my bio if you forget that. But head over to that link and sign up because you can enter to win a free ticket to the UK Fruit Fest, and I will be there. Chris Kendall will be there. I believe Doug Graham and a bunch of other awesome people. Dr. Rick and Karen Dina are going to be there as well. And I'm going to be at the Canada Vegan Fest with Nate. We'll probably do food demos there as well as presentations. And hopefully, if I get my green card in time, we'll be at the Dutch Fruit Festival as well. So lots of festivals. Thank you for your priceless advice. Since I started planning my meals for the day, it's easier. It's so easy when you plan. And when you wake up in the morning early enough to make your food, it's like the day is so much easier. I love lunchtime because I don't have to make anything. It's already made. I make it in the morning when I have lots of energy and I'm already making Nate's lunch. So it's so much easier. It's so easy when you plan. I'm so happy to hear that you're planning. That's awesome. If you think you're going to go to any of the festivals, you can get $100 off if it's your first time by using code RAWFOODROMANCE to get a discount. I think at any of the festivals. I'm not sure. I know Woodstock and UK Fruit Fest and Canada Fruit Fest. Not sure about the Dutch one, but yeah, use code RAWFOODROMANCE if you want to get a discount. Man, Woodstock's gonna be so fun. I cannot wait. I love meeting up with all my peeps. I miss you guys. I miss you so much. Let's see what, I'm just scrolling through the questions here. Just the plants, man. Love you. You're eating a taco salad and watching my love. I'm loving that you're watching my love. Your love. Planning is important. Yes, planning is so, so important. But I want to talk about the iron calcium. I didn't get a clarification on it, but iron and calcium specifically, we don't need as much as vegans. Dr. Greger and Garth Davis both say that we only need like 500 to 800 milligrams of calcium, which is super easy to get if you eat an abundance. And the thing with being a raw vegan or even a vegan is if you are under eating, if you're cutting calories and you're trying to lose weight and you're eating low amounts, or even if you're maybe intermittent fasting and you're not eating enough calories and you're eating in your feeding window, which I disagree with. But if you're not getting enough variety, enough greens, enough food in you, then you will suffer some kind of deficiency somewhere. So you want to make sure that you get enough food in you. And with iron, you can add vitamin C rich foods like oranges, bell peppers. I mean, everything has vitamin C in it pretty much. But the high ones you can add to your salad with, say, spinach or whatever. But make sure you increase your greens because that's going to provide you both iron and calcium. And the minerals are so important. Plus all the fiber that you're getting from the greens and the vegetables is going to feed your good bacteria. So that's important too. I think greens are so important. I think that they've been kind of cast aside recently in recent years with the whole fasting detox culture. And a lot of people are saying that greens slow down your detox. But I disagree with that. I believe that greens facilitate detox. Because if somebody goes on a raw diet and is very, very high fruit and suddenly they start getting symptoms, the majority of people in the detox community will say, add greens to slow the detox. So they say slow the detox so people think that it's going to take longer to detox. But the reason why it slows the detox or actually takes away the symptoms is because it actually pulls the toxins out of the body. So you don't get as much of the symptoms. People think that it slows it, but it actually helps it. So adding greens actually helps detox. That's my opinion and perspective, and what I've learned over the last 2 decades in the natural health industry is that we need fiber to detox. So juice cleansing and all of that is great to get the toxins into the bloodstream, but to get them out of the body, you need the fiber. So that's why I don't do juice fasts and stuff like that, because I just want the fiber to feed my good bacteria and to get the toxins out of my body. Let's see what else you guys have to say. Need to start focusing on fiber. Yes, fiber, so important. I think it's more important than protein. Definitely more important than protein. We need to focus on the fiber. You say that like Dr. Greger. We need to focus on the fiber. I'm gonna go see Dr. Greger February 8th. He's coming to Medford. So we have tickets, me and Nate and Aaron and George and a couple other people of our friends. We're all gonna go see Dr. Greger. I'm gonna get him to sign my books. It's gonna be awesome. This person says, plant-based forever. I hate how people think juice is good. Need the fiber. I agree. I think juicing has its place. But the vast majority of people don't need to be juice fasting, and it can create a disordered relationship with food, in my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with me, and I've had novels written to me about how juicing is so good. I'm not anti-juicing. I'm anti people jumping into juicing, not knowing what they're doing or being supervised or whatever. I feel like it perpetuates this cleanse mentality where we always have to be cleansing, or we need to do a detox and we need to go deeper into the detox by doing a juice cleanse or a water fast, when we don't need to. We just need to stop eating the offending foods. Get the offending foods out of your diet, and the body naturally detoxes every day on its own, even if you're really sick. And I was never tested for diabetes, but I had all the symptoms, and I didn't go to the doctor because I was actually very fearful of getting the diagnosis of being diabetic. It scared me so much, so I never went. But I had all the symptoms. I worked in, like I said, the natural health industry for 2 decades, and I knew the symptoms. I knew what to look for. I knew what people who had diabetes were suffering with, and I had all of the symptoms. So I was sick. I just wasn't diagnosed. And I didn't do a juice fast. I didn't do a water fast. I didn't go into any of those like banana island or watermelon island or mono fruit meals or all fruit or anything. I just got rid of the offending foods, and I ate an abundance of fresh, raw plant foods. And 50% probably from fruit, 50% salads, because I eat fruit for breakfast and snacks, and then a big salad for lunch and a big salad for dinner. Sometimes I'll do an ice cream for dinner. Other times I'll do maybe a mono meal here and there. But I don't live on mono meals, and I don't live in that restrictive mindset because I don't want to have an eating disorder. I want to have a good, healthy relationship with an abundance of food. And also, I want to provide my good bacteria the abundance of fiber from various different foods, and I don't want to limit it by going on a fruit island or doing a juice cleanse or whatever, because those bacteria, they don't live long and they reproduce quickly. So if you're not feeding it those foods, then you're going to come into problems. And there was a person, one of my friends, Susie, she told me just the other day that she's been adding more foods like mushrooms, cauliflower, kale, like the darker stuff that kind of could cause a lot of problems with people. If you add it in slowly, then you give your bacteria time to eat that and multiply so that you can eat more later. That's why people have to start slow with things like sauerkraut. If you never eat sauerkraut and then you go to the restaurant and you have like a big chunk of it on your plate, you might get gas because your body's not used to it. Same thing with broccoli. If you don't eat broccoli normally, or if you restrict it and you don't eat it at all because maybe you believe it's bad for digestion, if you don't eat it, then you're not feeding the broccoli favoring bacteria in your colon. So you want to start with like 1 floret a day or whatever, and then increase it to 2 florets a day, and then increase it to 3, and then eventually you can eat a big amount and it doesn't cause any problems. And she said that the more she adds into her diet, the slower she goes, the easier it is to digest. And some people have issues with mushrooms, but it's because they only eat them once in a while, or issues with broccoli or kale or whatever, because if you don't eat it often, you don't have the good bacteria to digest it. So it's important to have a good variety and make sure that you eat a variety every day, all the time, and avoid those like juice cleansey mentalities. Because again, I respect fasting incredibly high. That isn't even a sentence, but I have so much respect for fasting that I don't do it. I wouldn't do it unless for 2 reasons. If I was in a time of famine, there's absolutely literally nothing to eat, like not even twigs off trees. Like it's a fasting, like there's no food. Then I would fast because there's nothing to eat. Then the other time that I would only fast is if my body decided that it didn't want to. So we'll use this bowl as an example. Say I had a huge bowl full of sumo oranges, my favorite orange in the entire world, and someone gave it to me and they were like, "Here, Lissa, enjoy these sumo oranges." I'd be like, I can't even, I don't even want to look at food. Like, I feel sick. Oh my God, I'm going to be sick. That's a natural fast. That's your body saying, I don't want food. I'm going to make you feel nauseated, and I need you to go sleep, maybe take a break, maybe de-stress or whatever, because I'm fighting the flu. And I don't want food right now, but maybe in a couple hours I will. So if your body gives you a signal that it does not want food, like literally you feel like throwing up just by looking at it, that's a sign that you should maybe take a break for a day or whatever. But that's rare. It hardly ever happens. I haven't been sick in 5 years, so I wouldn't really be fasting anyways. So, but that's when I would fast, is when my body tells me, not when my mind tells me. We get stuck in that. We want our body to do what our mind wants, and we think we need to be clean, but our body is just like, can you just get rid of the stuff that's bugging me? And it'll clean on its own. So yeah, sorry, I had to rant there a little bit. Yeah, just eat healthy and the body cleans on its own. That's why I have a hard time with cabbage. Yes, you may have a hard time with cabbage because you don't eat it often enough. So if you just had a little bit here and there and you ate it more often, small amounts more often, then you can increase it to bigger amounts. Like I can eat like 3 cups of cabbage in my salad, no problem. But it's because I do that every second day or so. So it really changes your gut flora. Your gut flora is so important. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. If you have any other questions, maybe before I head off, I gotta go back to editing my yoga video that I was supposed to edit like a long time ago, but I just haven't had time. So I'm gonna be working on that. It's for a company in Edmonton, Studio X. They have been amazing to me and we had so much fun in their studio while I was living in Canada, and I did film some videos for them and I want to get those finished. So got a couple more questions right before we go. Please tell me, has any of your scars faded? Actually, I had I am wearing a little bit of foundation today, but I just use like a tinted moisturizer, so it's not thick or anything. But I used to have, even if I was wearing tinted moisturizer, you could see them. It looked like my face was dirty. Like I had a whole bunch of scars from acne. And I think in a combination of 3 things, my diet, Bikram yoga, so hot yoga, and red light therapy, I believe got rid of my scars on my face, which I'm so thankful for because they were a constant reminder of what I did. I mean, if you guys watched some of my recent videos, I have videos of my face when it was all covered in acne. And I would like make it worse. I'd pick at them and yeah, it was just a horrible time. But if you guys have seen that, they healed over darker than my natural skin tone. So it looked like my face was dirty no matter what I did. And I think it was the mix of Bikram, red light therapy, and staying on the raw food that got rid of those. I'm so happy that they're gone. Do you think marinating cabbage and broccoli makes it easier to digest? I think that freezing it would make it easier to digest because you burst the cell wall. I'm not sure about dehydrating. If it does actually burst the cell wall, it might actually, it might make it easier to digest. I think that might be a good idea. But freezing it definitely would be the best way to start incorporating that. Freeze the cauliflower and then thaw it in hot water and add it to, say, Chris Kendall's cocoa butter veggies, add it to that, and then with time you can add more. What shampoo and conditioner do you use? Great question. My hair is super dry today. It's frizzy because I let it air dry and I didn't really do much to it, so it's kind of But I use Monat right now, or Monet, or I don't even know the name. Here's one of them. Intense Repair Conditioner. My friend Heather sells it and I just buy it. I don't sell it because it's multi-level marketing and I don't want to promote any of that stuff on my Instagram just because it's just not my style. I don't want to I'm only going to promote what I use personally. And yeah, I use it, but I don't want people to think that they need to start it as their business or whatever. But this is what I use on my hair. And I really don't advertise that I do, but I will share what I use. Intense Repair. But I had issues with my hair, actually. It had nothing to do with the diet. But I had, I was always wearing my hair up in a ponytail when I'd go to yoga. And it would be a really tight ponytail. And my hair would be wet. And I would also wear a ponytail right after I get out of the shower and I'd sleep on it. Don't do that. Don't do that because it weakens the hair, especially when it's wet. And I had a ring around my hair of olives breakage from my hair ties that I would wear in my hair. And now I use those, I don't have any here on my desk, but they're the phone cord ones that are spiralized. I use those now to put up my hair. I use clips now to put my hair up just because I don't want any more of that damage. So I had to chop off a lot of my hair because they were all split ends and everything. But now we're good. We're good. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. So yeah, that's my hair story. Do you eat or how do you consume raw carob powder or raw cacao? I'm okay with raw cacao in powder or nib form, but as soon as it gets into a chocolate bar, even if it's a raw chocolate bar or like a raw, like a Lara bar or whatever, as soon as it gets into there, I start getting heart palpitations and it sucks. So I don't do any of the chocolate bars. I mean, I do, I still eat them, but they always give me heart palpitations. So I try to avoid them for the most part. I had 2 over Christmas and each time I would get heart palpitations and I'm like, I can't do those anymore. Like I forget that that happens and you're like, ooh, raw chocolate. Like it's raw. But yeah, it still causes those issues. And I do raw cacao and raw nibs in my smoothies in the morning. If I do like a chocolate milkshake, I'll just put like a tablespoon of powder and a little bit of nibs with bananas, maple, and vanilla and ice. And it's delicious. Have any of your scars from years before faded after going raw, like burns, cuts from decades ago? I don't really have much. I have burns on my hand. I'm sure people have seen it. I don't know, right here. But these are from my curling iron. I need to get a pair of gloves so that I can protect my hands, but I don't know, they're still there. It's been like I have something on my hand here. I had a scratch, that's a scar that I have, and it hasn't lightened or gone away. My stretch marks have lightened, I think, anyways. They used to be really noticeable and very thin. Now they're a little bit thicker and fuller. But that could also be due to the red light therapy along with raw. I don't know which it is, but it's probably a combination of both. So yeah, I think with time and patience and consistency, because if you do the diet and then you fall off and you do whatever for a while, it's all about the consistency. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep on it and treat yourself with respect. And cheat days, I don't believe are a great thing. I think that cheat days are a way of still putting us back in that non-self-love state. Even though we think we want it, we actually really don't. We just want the connection, the taste, and the taste really only is for that bite. And then after that, we all think, we're like, why did we eat that? So yeah, consistency, red light therapy. Red light therapy is, I don't even, I'm like, where's all my stuff? But I have this little handheld red light machine, and it's like, it's red light, basically, different wave of light that goes through your skin, and it stimulates collagen production and all kinds of good stuff. But I was going to the red light bed, and I wasn't doing this to heal my skin. I was only going to the red light bed because it was on sale. I was going to the tanning salon before I got married when I was still living in Canada. I was going to Fabutan, and I was tanning, and I know that's not the greatest, but in Canada, we rarely see the sun, and I was rarely seeing the sun, and I felt awesome going tanning, so I did it. But they also had a $20 add-on to the tanning package for red light therapy, and I was like, might as well, right? I'll go tanning, and then I'll lay in the red light bed for 20 minutes and fix the damage I made. That was my idea that justified it. But I would go to this red light bed, and I would lay in the red light bed for 20 minutes after I was tanning, and I did that probably almost every single day, 5 to 7 days a week. I was in that red light bed, and my acne scars are gone. Like, they're completely gone, and I broke out less. My skin was so much nicer. Like, I feel like it was more plump. It wasn't as saggy, but I mean, we age, right? But yeah, the red light therapy definitely made a big difference. But I was also going for like 4 or 5 months straight. I went every day because it was unlimited. I could go every day if I wanted to. So I went every day. And now that I've been in Oregon, I haven't had access to the red light therapy bed. So I actually bought my own little handheld one that I can use on my face, maybe somewhere on my body if I want to. But that is, I believe red light therapy is really good. Who would have thought? I didn't know. I mean, I heard about it, but I kind of thought it was gimmicky. And I just did it. Again, like I said, it was 20 bucks a month. So I'm glad that I did. Let's see, what else do we have here? Some people claim their surgery scars from childhood and oven burns also faded away about 1 year on the raw food diet. Honestly, it depends on every person. We're all different. Like I said, I've got this scar here is 5 or 6 years old. Sure, it's probably lighter, but I'm not super concerned about it. I don't really pay too much attention. I don't know. I don't really see, but yeah, scars can go lighten. I wouldn't say they go away completely. Some might say it goes away completely, but it never really truly goes away completely. It just lightens to the point that you really don't notice it anymore. Tinted moisturizer that I use, Eminence Organics. It's called Vanilla Latte. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite tinted moisturizer. And then I am wearing a little bit of blush. It's a NARS Dolce Vita, I believe, because they didn't use any carmine in that, so it would be considered vegan. But yeah, and I'm wearing Lolita Kat Von D mascara and eyeshadow. Let's see. Do you know anything about Kangen water? I do not. I used to have an alkaline water filter and I drank out of that for like a decade, but didn't really notice too much. And I don't really pay too much attention to the alkalinity of the water. I just drink the filter from a fridge or reverse osmosis or distilled, whatever is available at the time. Glad you're finding this interesting and useful. Glad that I popped on. Where do you get red light therapy on the body? I went to Fabutan in Canada. They have red light beds, but I would definitely get on Google and search red light therapy in your area because you might find a salon that has something like that. Do you love spinach or kale? How much of them do you eat? Why mostly lettuce heads? Romaine lettuce is cheap and it's hydrating and lots of fiber and it's got a lot of protein and calories in it. On one head, like a decent sized head of romaine is 100 calories, so it's easy to remember and get those calories in. And I enjoy romaine lettuce. I'm not a huge fan of spinach, mostly because it just gets really wilty and it's not really my fave. It's not my jam. Kale, I like. I will add kale to salads at night, but it always comes with romaine. I eat romaine every single day. I've had romaine once or twice a day, every day for 5 years and more. Also almost 5.5 years now. So romaine is definitely a staple in my diet. And I do like iceberg lettuce here and there. Nate really likes iceberg lettuce. And cabbage. I eat a lot of cabbage, purple and green. Cauliflower too. So yeah, I try to rotate, add in different greens. I really like black kale, the dinosaur kale or Lasianto kale. I really like that one. Purple kale is great too. If I do kales, I normally do them with a heavier dressing, like one with nuts, a creamy dressing, because it helps to absorb vitamin A, vitamin K, like the fat soluble vitamins from the greens. Is it just me or you look much younger this year? Thank you. Maybe I do. I'm not sure. Maybe I have this forehead line. That's my precious big wrinkle right there. It could be the bangs. I think the bangs make me look a little younger. But I'm happy. I'm so happy. I get to live my dream by helping you guys. I'm married to my twin flame, the love of my life. I have really low stress in my relationship where I'm living. It's just wonderful. So it could be that combination of staying raw and eating a lot of fiber and plant hydration. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I just turned 40. So here's to 40. Here's to this decade. It's going to be good. How did you lose tummy fat on a raw diet? I look like your before picture, but no matter how healthy and plant-based I eat, I'm not losing belly fat. Honestly, I'd have to know what you're eating, like exactly. That's why I do coaching calls, because we go in detail with what you're eating and what you've tried and what doesn't work. But for the most part, the way I lost it was eating higher calorie, but keeping my fat at the 10% range, not overdoing it on fats and not restricting my calories. I ate a lot and I really didn't do a lot of workouts. I would go for like hikes here and there. Sometimes I'd get on like a workout kick and I'd work out for like 2 weeks and then I wouldn't for like a month and a half. But I did do some activity, just not what I should have been doing. I still lost weight. It was all because of the diet. And I came from a very, very heavy junk food, processed food diet before I went raw. I've tried a lot of other diets, but nothing really seemed to work consistently or actually make me feel good while I was doing it until I discovered the low-fat raw vegan. But yeah, I would definitely need to know more about your situation. And the reason why my hair is moving like this is because I have a heater on, so it might look really weird. But yeah, that's why I offer coaching. So if anybody wants to know more in depth about their own personal situation, we can talk a little bit more about that, because it's really hard to say why if I don't know what you've been doing, your past, your struggles, what you're eating currently, and all of that jazz. So, but that's how I lost weight. Upload 10-year challenge pictures. Ooh, that's a good one. What was I doing in 2010? Damn. 2010, I went to Mexico. I was doing a raw vegan kick in 2010 and I had lost a little bit of weight, but I was always doing it low calorie and high fat, and I couldn't sustain it past a couple weeks. Maybe the longest I ever went was 2 months on that. And I just couldn't sustain it long term because that high amount of fat and the low amount of calorie was causing me to have serious cravings, and then I would always binge after. So that's why I don't do high fat, because it just does not work. It makes me binge and makes me tired too. So let's see. That's why you're aging backwards. I mean, we're all gonna age, and I've got wrinkles. Can you see? I've got them. See? Check it out. I've got wrinkles. I mean, I'm not 20 anymore, but yeah. I have beautiful skin. What do you use for skincare? I'm like the worst person for skincare, except the last couple of months, I've been using Eminence Organics. I don't even have any here. Again, I don't have anything here, but Eminence Organics is what I've been using as my skincare, and I've been pretty regular with it. I've been kind of slack in the last couple weeks, but there was a period where I was like super regular with it, starting in like November, right before Christmas, and I'm getting back into it. I did my skincare routine today. I wore the 8 Greens Phyto Mask. I have the bamboo firming fluid, the marine peptide serum, and I also use Alginist, the Genius Cream, on my skin. But I've only really been doing that for the last like 2 months. But I think the red light therapy definitely helped a lot with my skin. And I'm notorious for going to bed with my makeup on. So yes, I go to bed with my makeup on more often than I'd like to admit. It's the love in the air. It's the love in the air. Oh, it so is. I'm like so crazy in love with Nate. Oh, it makes me so happy to be with him, and he is so wonderful. I can't even describe how blessed I am to have him in my life. I'm just on cloud 9. So yeah, that's probably why it helps with my skin too. How did I meet Nate? Well, now let's get into the story. I don't need to get back to work. I'd rather talk to you guys. Nate was a fan of mine. He went vegan with his son Jacob sorry guys, my battery's low, so I'll try to talk fast. But Nate and his son went vegan in 2011, and then they were vegan, but they were eating like all kinds of vegan stuff, and Nate was gaining weight. His mom healed herself of cancer on a raw diet, and he was skiing with a guy who was 86, and he had been raw for over 40 years. And he looked at Nate and was like, Nate, you gotta listen to your mom. So Nate's like, oh, I guess I gotta go raw. He just didn't want to do the extreme raw version that she was doing because she had cancer. So he's like, how do I be a balanced raw vegan? So he gets online, starts checking out different raw vegan stuff, and he finds my stuff. And he really resonated with the raw food romance tag, like falling in love with real food, getting a connection with your food and changing that. So he bought my book, my meal plan, my first meal plan, and he followed that. He lost 60 pounds. He was like vibrant and healthy and everything. And then he went to Woodstock that summer and met my friend Jack from Raw Tropical Living, who gives me all of these awesome t-shirts to wear. He's got awesome t-shirts. You guys gotta go check it out. I've bought a few from him that I just love. And yeah, so anyways, off track. He met Jack at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and Jack messaged me and was like, Lissa, you got to interview this guy for your YouTube channel because he's pretty cool. He did your 30-day meal plan. He lost weight, so he'd be a great testimonial. And I'm like, sure, cool, send him on over. And I was just going to set up an interview for YouTube, and as soon as he got on the screen, I was like, oh God, I'm in trouble. And then we just started talking till like 3 a.m, and we talked every single day since then. Yeah, sorry, some noises. There's the puppy. Koba! Koba, come here. Koba, come. Koba, come say hi. Come on. Come on. Come on, Koba. Oh my gosh, she's funny. So anyways, we did the interview. We started talking, and then we decided to meet, and just like it was instant. So that's how we met. He bought my book and he was a fan. So I taught him how to eat. So awesome. We'll move on. How do you deal with anxiety and self-sabotaging? This is a loaded question. Anxiety, I really don't have a lot of anxiety now. I used to have a lot, but it was more situational. I would say it probably had a lot to do with what I was eating as well, but situational, like relationships and work, were causing me a lot of anxiety, and it was really hard to deal with a lot of stuff. And in my past relationships, I was dealing with other stuff too, and I used CBD oil. And if anybody needs some CBD oil, I use Lava Love USA. And you can send me a DM if you're having issues and you need to start on some CBD oil. I've got a coupon code. If it's your first time, your first order from them, send me a DM and I'll send you that coupon code. With Elizabeth, she owns Lava Love USA. I love her. I love hanging out with her when I head up to Portland. But yeah, that's what I do for anxiety and when it's situational. But I don't really have a lot of anxiety anymore. I don't really have things to be anxious over. And when there is something kind of like that's like scary, I guess, kind of like, I don't know, bombing Iran or whatever, that kind of stuff, I don't really feel the anxiety that I used to feel anymore. I feel like I cope with things a lot better. And then self-sabotaging. What about self-sabotaging? Like, are you eating things to make yourself feel less worthy? Are you doing things to make yourself feel less attractive? And this is all in the mind. Your mind believes certain things about yourself, and therefore you consume the foods that you believe. But it's like a vicious circle, because when you stop eating the offending foods, then you can change your belief cycle because you're respecting your body. So self-sabotage, I remember many times trying to lose weight or getting on a weight loss regime or whatever, and then I would start losing weight, and it was almost like a barrier in my mind. I'd be like, I'm like at this goal weight or whatever, and then I would just start binging and go back because I had this view of who I was and where that weight of a person would be. So once I got rid of all of those labels and I was just focusing on being healthy and not having any labels or any specific goals, like I just wanted to get healthy. I didn't have any like goal weight or get rid of my acne. I didn't have any of those specific goals. All I wanted to do was eat the best food, and whatever my body decided to do was what it decided to do. And I lost the weight, got rid of the acne, stabilized my periods, but it was just because I focused solely on being healthy and eating the healthiest foods that I could, and that helped. I'm not sure if that helps answer your question. I hope it does. Let's see. Sorry guys, just checking your questions here. Were you into desserts and sugar before you went raw? Did you eat them a lot? I sure did. Oh my gosh, the things that I ate before I was raw. And I would do raw, like over the 10 years before I actually committed to raw, I would do raw and I would eat healthy. I would go on health kicks just like everybody else does. And I would fall and binge because I wasn't eating enough and I was eating too high fat. And then, yeah, cookies, cakes, pastries, chocolate bars, candy, energy drinks were a huge one, and coffee, like fatty, thick, creamy coffees. Alcohol, I want to say light alcoholic, but you don't even need the term light on it, because if you have a problem letting go of alcohol, I consider that alcoholic problem. So I became sober in 2014 and haven't had any alcohol since, and I won't. But yeah, I ate it all. Bag of Doritos for breakfast. I would do like chicken things like chicken wings and potato wedges with a whole cup of sour cream for lunch. And then I would have like my token vegetables that were like slathered in oil and coconut oil or whatever, salt like crazy. Yeah, I just ate really, really bad. So yeah, desserts, savory, you name it, I ate it back then. All your sugar cravings went away when you started increasing your fruits. Yes, we crave sugar. The reason why we crave sugar is because we run on sugar. So we're going to crave sugar, but you want to give it the proper sugar, which is fruit. Fruit and vegetables eventually break down into sugars as well. What makeup products do you use? Right now I am wearing Lolita Kat Von D. Again, I don't have it here. I have this lip injection for my lips. I'm wearing NARS blush and Eminence tinted moisturizer. And I also use the Lolita kit for my brows, but otherwise that's what I do. Go big or go home mascara. Best mascara ever. It's Kat Von D. What vitamins are needed on raw? Any vitamins that you're deficient in. You should get tested to make sure that you're deficient in stuff, but if you want to take things as a preventative measure, I personally take vitamin B12, which I think everybody should be taking, especially if you have been tested and you need to take it. D3, K2, I take daily greens boost, not every day, but I do take it for like iodine and trace minerals and stuff. And probiotics. I do take probiotics right now. I haven't taken probiotics in a really long time, but I want to just do a round just because. Why not? And I'm using Garden of Life for those. I'm awesome. Thank you. Get rid of the labels. Yes, get rid of the labels and just eat healthy. The only reason I use the label raw vegan is to explain how I eat. I don't live in the label. There's a big difference with living in the label and living outside the label, because I personally can eat anything I want. I can eat whatever I want, but I choose raw vegan foods every time because that's how I feel my best. So I don't need to live in the label. Yeah, hey, all right.
Love you.
Love you.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, have fun.
Yeah, I will.
That's my stepson, Jacob. He's been vegan since 2011, and he's so awesome. He's a cute little ethical vegan dude, and he influences his friends. He's so strong in his beliefs, and it's awesome to see. So yeah, he's going out. But thank you for answering my question. You're very welcome. Coming in late, that's okay. I'm gonna keep this up for 24 hours. I'm also gonna upload it to YouTube, because why not? This live was just about random stuff. Whatever anyone wants to talk about, I want to talk. I was just taking a break from editing, so I came on here, and it's a longer break than I should have taken, but I don't care. I like to chat with you guys. Slow juicers, Nama or curvings? I have no idea because I don't juice. The best person to talk to about juicers is John Kohler. I would probably check out his Instagram. Is at Growing Your Greens. He's going to be the best source for juicers. But I don't have a juicer. I haven't juiced. Sometimes I'll do juice, but it's like the citrus juicer. I'll make orange juice randomly, or I buy a raw, fresh pressed juice, but otherwise I don't do it myself. I'm not into juicing because I want the fiber, but yeah, that's just me. So wonderful giving up booze. Yes, no alcohol. We're alcohol free here. Do you think affirmations really work? 100%. I believe that they do work if you do them regularly. You have to do them every day. You have to do them when you feel good and when you feel crappy. I think that they truly, genuinely do work, but it's the repetition, the consistency, how long you do it, how patient you are with it, and releasing those old belief systems and actually truly believing your affirmations and actually feeling your affirmation. Like if you say, I'm intelligent or whatever, you need to actually believe that you are when you say it to yourself. And I've found that since me and Nate have been doing the 5 a.m. club, we're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and we're going through our affirmations, I believe them so much more. Now, every single day I read them, I believe them even more. So it's truly, the power is in the repetition, the power is in consistency. And every single day I would wake up in the morning when I started raw, I would tell myself, I am a raw vegan. Today I am a raw vegan. And that's what I would tell myself. And eventually it just became my reality. I am a raw vegan. Like I said, I don't live in the label, but I use that affirmation to help me make those positive choices every day in the beginning when I really needed it. But yeah, so I believe affirmations definitely work. You just got to give them a chance and you can't forget to do them. You got to do them every day. Do you think cashews can be a trigger food? Can we do without them? Of course you can do without them. I've gone sometimes weeks or months without even eating cashews. You don't need them to be healthy. They're just really nice, creamy treat. But yeah, they can be a trigger food for some people. If they're in the house and they eat one, they end up eating a cup and then that's going to cause problems. So if cashews are a trigger food for you, or if you make like a cashew dressing and you end up eating like 3 cups of it, then yeah, maybe you have an issue and you need to be diligent with keeping cashews out of your diet, or just don't buy them, don't bring them in the house. Or if you see them, maybe just pretend that they're ingredients that belong in some other recipe and they're actually not there for you to eat straight. We're actually not supposed to eat nuts straight. They actually can change the acidity level of your saliva and cause more acidity. That's what I've heard. I don't know the true science on that, so don't quote me, but that's where I learned not to eat nuts as a snack. We should be eating fruit as a snack. But yeah, you don't need cashews. You can replace with sunflower seeds and zucchini. It's just going to be a lighter flavor. It's not going to be as creamy, but it's a good alternative. Every time I try to raw, all I crave is fried food. Now, there could be a couple reasons for this. It could be comfort. You need this numbing. You need to kind of like zone out from your day. It could be stress, tired, boredom, connections of the past. But the number one reason why people crave other foods when they're on a raw diet is they are not eating enough. This is prevalent across like almost everybody that I talk to who have tried raw, who aren't able to stick to it, is because they're not eating enough. And they say that they are trying to intuitively eat, but intuitive eating doesn't work if you don't know how to eat. So it's very important to learn that. And I am just going to move because battery is dying, so I need to plug my phone in. I don't want to leave you guys yet, so I'm going to just put this here. I'm going to sit in bed with you guys here and plug my phone in. Here we go. Boop. There we go. We've got power. So yeah, I would definitely say that the number one reason why people crave fatty foods and salty foods and all that kind of stuff is that you're just not eating enough, and they're not eating foods that they really enjoy. So finding recipes is so important. It's very important to find your fallback 5 or 5 top favorite recipes that you like to eat and make those often, and make bigger salads. If you don't fill up on a salad, your salad's not big enough. So you gotta make it bigger. So let's see here. Do you purchase organic? Do I purchase organic? I do, but I don't eat all organic. I eat probably 50-50. If there's farmers markets, I will buy more organic. When I was in Canada in the summertime, I could get like cases of tomatoes for $20 and they were organic heirlooms. So that was awesome. If things are on sale, if they're a good deal, I will buy organic, but I don't buy all organic just because when organic cucumbers, sorry guys, when organic cucumbers are $2.99 a piece and I need 18 of them for me and Nate and Jonah, there's no way I can afford to eat organic. And the conventional ones are only $1.28. I gotta do it. I just can't. I gotta do other things too. Got to visit a black kitty today and made me think of your kitties. I love my kitties. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. I love them so much. Sorry for asking the same question twice. That's okay. I try to get to all of your questions. I'm just going, it might be a little slow here. What's your go-to super quick lunch? Great question. My go-to super quick lunch would be my French dressing, 5 dates, 2 cloves of garlic, the juice of a lemon, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and some smoked paprika. Blend that up with some water. You got your dressing. Then for the salad, I would just chop up really quick a head of romaine, like a romaine heart. I would add shredded cabbage, which is already shredded for me. I have a bag of it in the fridge. I would chop up some green onion really fast, throw in some cherry tomatoes. You don't even have to cut those. And then chop up a cucumber, chop up a bell pepper, done. It's probably takes me like maybe 10 minutes to make that. And that's my go-to quick lunch. And I add chia seeds now to my French dressing to get my omega-3s, if anyone needed to know that. Let's see. Some seeds can also cause stomach pains, I've noticed. Yes. And everyone's going to be different. We're all going to have different digestive issues and foods that we can tolerate better than others. So it really depends on the individual. So you got to see what your body decides it wants to do with stuff. But seeds are definitely better and easier to digest than nuts. Sorry if I keep moving this around, but it's gonna fall. Let's see here. I made sunflower sour cream yesterday. It's great. Yes, sunflower sour cream is so good. More mineral salts with veggies will decrease salt cravings. Yes, vegetables are so essential. We need those minerals. So it's really important that we add more greens to our diet, get that variety and that satiation, because if your body is craving all kinds of things, then just aren't providing it the variety and the abundance that it needs. So eat. Does your ginger belief feed just one? I found it so big. Yeah. It does feed just one. Oh my gosh. You could split it, maybe have a little salad or eat what you can, definitely, but it does actually serve one. I know it's big, but that's how much we have to eat. And when people see my salad, sometimes they're like, oh my goodness, this is so massive. I can't believe that you eat that, but it's because I have to. You skip the cucumber. Oh man. Nicole couldn't eat it all either, but good news, it tastes great the next day. That's awesome. Really quick, guys, I think Instagram's gonna cut me off, so if I do, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me on this live. But really quickly, what is your opinion on fruitarians saying we shouldn't eat vegetables because we are frugivores? My opinion on that is that most frugivores eat greens. A lot of frugivorous primates, when they eat fruit, they'll eat handfuls of greens after to remineralize their teeth and alkalize their saliva. It's important that we eat the greens as well. Lots of frugivores do. We probably aren't any exception, and the fiber in like greens is much different than the fiber in fruit. So it acts as a scrub brush in your colon. A lot of people who do all fruit for long periods of time, I mean, the people that I know over the last 5.5 years that have been all fruit have almost all of them gone back to eating animal products because they come into problems when you do all fruit for long periods of time and you're not providing your gut that bacteria and the scrubbing action that the roughage gives you. It keeps the bacteria down. SIBO is something that has happened to a few people when the bacteria in the colon creeps up into the small intestine because either you're doing lots of juice cleansing or you're eating only fruit, which isn't enough to scrape that bacteria back down into the colon, and you can get SIBO. So that is, yeah, I believe that greens are so incredibly important, and I believe it's part of a healthy frugivorous diet. I consider myself a frugivore. Humans are frugivores, but when you say frugivore, it's like 70% of your calories coming from fruit and the rest coming from greens. They're so important for cleansing, for minerals, for all that good stuff. So that's my thoughts on it. Let's see. What do we have here? Oh, the ginger belief. You guys, the ginger belief is in meal plan 2, if anyone was interested in that one. All the great info. Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great Friday night. Thank you. It's going to be a good weekend. We're going to film a falafel burger recipe video. We're going to film a shopping video. I'm going to film a vlog. Again, I just filmed another one that I need to edit. What else are we doing? We're doing a webinar with Ted CARR on Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to join in on that webinar, please do. We're going to be talking about finances as vegans, online business stuff, and all that good stuff. So come and join in on that. Do you have some desist in past and be raw vegan could solve them? I'm not sure I understand that question. Can you repost it if we still have time, if Instagram doesn't cut me off? Love you, Nicole. Love this info. Thank you, Tammy. Love you, Lissa. You're the best. Oh, Richard. I love you too, bro. So awesome. My friend Maddie, wicked stepmom. She's in here. I love her. Worked with her at the health food store for a long time. She's awesome. And she has a book. I don't know. You have to write the name of it. I can't remember the title of it, but it's about being a stepmom. And I'm excited to get my own copy because I'm a stepmom now. I love being a stepmom. So that's really cool. She's in here. Love. I want my nutritionist to help me transition to raw. Any suggestions I should mention to her? I really want to succeed this time. She's all about plant-based diet, but not really sure about a raw one. Honestly, you could talk to her about increasing your raw. Start slow, especially with her, and eat raw at home if you want to. There's no harm in that. I mean, there's a lot of people I know that go to a nutritionist and don't do anything that they say. So you can just talk to her about increasing the raw, having more raw with your meals, like adding a sweet potato to it or like a cup of quinoa or whatever, but just increase your raw foods and decrease your cooked foods with time. And again, like I said, it's your body. You can eat what you want. You don't have to always listen to your nutritionist, but they do offer some advice, especially if they're pro plant-based. That's really good. Because I know a lot of nutritionists aren't. Ooh, I've got 2 minutes remaining. How do you stop salt cravings? Eat lots of greens and celery. And eat lots of food. pH water. Have you heard of medical medium way of life? Yes, I have, and I don't follow him, but you can. Took all my cooked cravings away, and my hubby's Diet Coke and Doritos. Perfect. My 2 cents. Happy feet. Mwah, love you, girl. We've got a minute and a half left. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. It went 45 minutes over what I wanted to do, but that's okay because I love you. Again, this is going to be posted on YouTube. So if you missed it and you don't watch it over these 24 hours, you can head over to YouTube and I'll post it over there. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me again. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend full of raw food and hydration and deliciousness. Love you guys so much. I'm going to sign off right now and have an awesome night.